Dear Redeemer, at times like this, we might feel the hands of God on us, and which is a wonderful feeling, but also security and something we can really rest in, knowing also that these hands are not just to keep us, but also to keep us moving forward with him. And we touched briefly on his hands being the hands of a potter and us being willing clay. And it's so good at times like this that we realize we're in wonderful hands. And for today, we'll be looking at his hands being the hands of a gardener, a vine dresser, pruning us to bear more fruit. It says in John 15, and we read, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. And every branch that bears fruit, he prunes, so that it may bear more fruit. And Jesus speaks about the importance for us to stay connected to him for real life, to get life from him. And he introduces this wonderful prospect of us growing and bearing fruit. I don't know about you, but I love that. It excites me to know that we can grow. That's what I want. That's what we want, don't we? I love it when the church is growing, not only in size, but in depth, and people grow in an understanding of God's love for them and God's mission. I love that personal development in looking back over my life and seeing that I am changing, that things are progressing, that I'm not as upset or worried about stuff when the pressure is on at times. But there's only one slight snack with this. Jesus says, you can't just have me. It needs the hands of a father. And there's nothing wrong with the hands of God our Father, but it's what he's got in his hands this time. That worries at times. Jesus says, I am. And he is. I am the vine, and he is the gardener. You cannot have the I am without the he is. You cannot just have Jesus. If you want the juices of Jesus, his love and joy and peace and all the juices and the fun and the life, we can't have that unless we also embrace the hands of the one carrying the pruning equipment. And in order for you and me to grow, we do need pruning back. Because he knows at crucial times that less in your life is more. Without pruning, you might be able to run on for a while, and maybe for some they can even run longer. But you find in the end you're like an offshoot. You miss direction. You've gone completely the opposite way because it's not been pruned back. There's no fruit. There is no evidence of that. And the word pruning is not just the cutting back, but also carries in it, the Greek word for pruning is airo, which is the lifting up and turning back. At times the Father picks us up because we're not growing in that direction. He's turning us back into the warmth and the heat of the sun to bring us into his light. God's work in our lives is for us to catch the warmth of his presence. Dear Redeemer, let's walk today in prayer and ask him, get him involved in our lives. Tell him how much you love him. Thank him for being the gardener. Thank him for times when you feel, yes, my life feels like I'm pruned back. Just believe and expect real growth to come from this. Let's pray for one another as a church. God bless you and have a wonderful day.